Wow, that's good.
The
Um,
show that we record to.
Okay.
so this is just a little bit afterwards if we're going to use this in the future. Um, I was going to say I like the whole drip thing about small things or little things every day. Reminds me of an old saying that the longest journeys start with a single step.
Oh yeah,
Mm.
If you just
yeah,
make a little step every day, soon you'll be at your destination. If you have a goal to be positive or better or whatever it
Yeah.
is.
Good
yeah.
point.
Um, I did have a couple questions. We mentioned you mentioned bullying earlier, and I know there's a lot of resources to help people who are being bullied. But what is it that makes somebody a bully? Is there anything to help them
Hmm.
change that behavior or recognize it or become more empathetic or anything?
Yeah, good question, Rex. For bullies, there are several reasons for that. One is that often there's things that are not going well at home, struggles in their own lives, maybe feeling powerless, and doing bullying works, right? You get what you want, or you see someone, right? You get that thrill actually of seeing another person, cry, or you get push them around, or whatever that is. Is you're bullying other people that it's rewarding in a way for them. And so being able to help bullies understand another person's perspective and actually help them to see the results of what happens to them can really, with some, can really shift their beliefs. If they're going around blowing up mailboxes or something and think that's really funny. And then they, have a parent or someone that actually takes and to the widow's house, the mailbox, and say, man, that really upset, it really just scared her. And to be able to see the results of what happens behind the scenes of the funny, or online, that they think they're being funny, making fun of people. But when they can see, wow, it really actually is painful and can really be hurtful. Seeing the results of their behavior on other people can be helpful in some situations.
Yeah, there's an actor I read about. I forget his name. He was a Spanish guy from Mexico. He was his younger life. He was in gangs and kind of being a bully. And one day he's just looking around his neighborhood. He's like, you know what? This place is not great because of me,
Mm.
and I want to make it great. So he actually started helping his neighbor. I think one of
Yeah.
the things he did was fix their mailbox and mow their lawn, and he dedicated himself to that. And it just really turned his life around and turned his
Mm.
neighborhood around. So
Ah,
yeah, I wonder too. Yeah, sometimes it seems like people who are bullies have untreated trauma of
mm.
some sort
Yeah.
that prevents them from having empathy or something
Yeah, yeah.
and
It's been said,
realizing,
and you may have heard this: hurt people, right? When
yeah,
people are hurting, they tend to, either put up a wall and hurt others, and be able to not feel and numb themselves because of some things that maybe that they're going through as well. Be hurt.
yeah, and I could definitely understand how it'd be hard on the other side to have any empathy for somebody who's being mean like that. But I
Yeah,
wonder sometimes if that would help people be
yeah.
like, okay, really, what's why are you so mad or why are you being like
Mhm.
What's
this?
going on? Yeah, in their
That's a good
life.
point. Really
Mm.
good point.
You mentioned too that journaling makes people happy. And
Yeah.
I've actually experienced this, but I was going to ask you, why do you think journaling does help people be more positive or happy? And I'm curious from both of you, Dave and Mallory.
Yeah, and Mallory, she's a great journal, right? You can tell about how many journals you have here in a second. In the beginning of the book, or the journal, we share all kinds of research about the benefits of journaling, what it does in the mind and the mindset. One of the principles is that we remember what we rehearse, we remember what we review, we remember what we relive. And so whether we talk about it or write about it, but writing, actually, there's something with physical writing, actually getting a pen, even more than typing. It's actually different, Rex. And so writing things out helps our mind to be able to process, whether it's stress or we're going, celebrating the good times, or like, man, today, I did this at work and it was so awesome and it felt so good. We actually are able to relive that, and it floods our brains with those same feelings that we had when it happened. The moment we heard the good news or the positivity, we actually get to relive it and have it again. And so it actually changes the mindset and the frame from a neutral mindset to a positive mindset. And even working through stress and struggles, we can actually process in the moment. Today was really tough. I broke up with my girlfriend or whatever it is. And writing that out can be therapeutic in a way to share, to get that out. And then even as we're doing it, to process, man, I could be doing this or that instead of sulking about this. And so I can go on. Yeah, it's packed. Yeah, pages, research articles especially the last decade have exploded, showing that writing in journals helps the mindset, mind, the body, relationships even. So pretty powerful.
Yeah, I'd agree. Like he was saying earlier, I love to journal. I've been journaling since I was little. I probably have like 15 journals, and my parents, every Sunday when we were little, they had us write in our journal, whether it was like 2 sentences, like my friend did this and whatever it was. And I have journals starting from when I was like 5 years old, and every single Sunday until right now. And I'm still working on it. And it's so fun to go back and look at those. So that's honestly like a big plus in and of itself, to be able to like relive and like look back when you were 12, 13, 14. And so I love it. I think it's a good way to be more happy, have more positivity in your life, and also just be more grateful. Cause I feel like sometimes when I'm journaling, I'm like starting to recognize, okay, like today was really good, even though it maybe didn't feel like that great of a day. So this journal, I'm really excited because there's so much stuff inside of it. It's not just those blank lines where you don't even know where to start. There's prompts for people to be able to kind of relive their day.
Even a daily gratitude, even a spot.
We ask every day.
It's a gratitude journal as well.
So a good tip for journaling too would be to focus on a positive thing from the day.
Yes.
And but you said you also mentioned something about kind of releasing the negative.
Yeah. In the journal, so up at the top, there's a thought or whatever that is for the day. And then there's a space for what we call memories made. What memories, do you want to remember? What was the coolest thing, fun things? But we actually have, Rex, to your point, a section that's called Tough Times and Lessons Learned. Because it's not all going to be roses. And there are actually going to be some really tough, hurtful, painful days. But writing about those can be therapeutic. Jotting those down. And then we intentionally put lessons learned. What is a lesson perhaps that you learned from the struggle or the trial that you had? And sometimes in the moment, it's too painful. But then to go back and think time can heal some of that, to go back and actually write about the lesson learned. Wow, it's been 2 weeks from this. And I've actually learned more empathy and patience and compassion for other people since my injury or my mom's sickness or whatever it is. So yeah, intentionally we put both of those in there.
That's really good. Yeah, for me, writing, especially years ago, was a way of just kind of getting in touch with how was I feeling, why was I feeling this, what bothered me, what didn't. Just being more aware of my emotional state, which really then helped me be more aware of other people's emotional state and empathy and that kind of thing. Yeah. This is an awesome project, and I'm glad you guys made it.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been fun to do it together. Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't even imagine. And more to come. That's what's so exciting.
More to come.
Just getting started.
Yeah. I know. Like, how do you guys sleep? You guys are doing so much.
Yeah, that's when we work.
Yeah, 2 to 4 a.m. I think is when we sleep, and then I get her up and we're back.
Oh my gosh. Well, you wear it well.
It's been fun. We just hope it's helpful.
Yeah. This is awesome. Thanks.
Thanks for joining us today. Hey, do us a favor and take a few minutes to subscribe to our podcast and the Utah Marriage Commission YouTube channel, where you can watch this and every episode of the show. When you hit the like button and leave a comment, your feedback helps us improve the show. And don't forget to share this episode with a friend. You can also follow and connect with us on Instagram at Stronger Marriage Life and on Facebook at Stronger Marriage. Be sure to share with us what topics you want us to explore or what you loved about today's episode. If you want even more resources to improve your relationship connection, visit our website at strongermarriage.org, where you'll find free workshops, webinars, relationship surveys, and more. Each episode of Stronger Marriage Connection is hosted and sponsored by the Utah Marriage Commission at Utah State University. And finally, a big thanks to our producers Rex Polanis and Alexis Alcott and the team at Utah State University. And you, our audience. You make this show possible. The opinions, findings, conclusions, and recommendations expressed in this podcast do not necessarily reflect the views of the Utah Marriage Commission